So many of you have been asking about the new T-Series irons from Titleist. I've actually gotten all the different clubs that they have in the T-Series, and so I thought I would walk you through what this looks like. So I've got the T100, the T150, the T250, and the T350. I'm going to hit a couple of these, and I'm going to show you how these are a little bit different from T100 to T250 or T250 to T350 and so on. So I'm going to walk you through all this and how we start to see changes that might take place. Now understand with the irons here, what we're really focusing on, what Titleist is focusing on is distance, dispersion, left and right, and then the descent angle, how that golf ball is coming into the green. That's a very important part of this game. What you want to do is you want to make sure that it's coming into the ground at an angle that's around 45 degrees. That allows the ball to have a little rollout, not an excessive amount of rollout. And the more rollout you get, you start shrinking greens. So you pay attention to that descent angle, and that can help you now make those greens a little bit bigger, get the ball on the green or even close to the hole, and allow you some of those great birdie opportunities. All right. Now, I'm going to put 3 of these down. We're going to start talking about this T100 club. The first thing that you're looking at this is, and this is true with all the irons, it's got a brushed chrome finish to it, which is just a little bit softer. Let me see if I can turn that around for you to get a look at that. Yeah, there you go. So it's just a little bit softer than the stainless steel finish of the prior generation, all right? There's also a little bit of a different sole to it, okay? And what this sole allows the club to do is kind of go through the ground a little bit faster, goes through the turf. What the term is buttery. It's a little bit softer through there, a little bit faster through there. It's not cambered, but it's almost got like a little camber to it, so it kind of doesn't dig into the ground so much. Okay, now, and what I've done with all these clubs, I have the exact same shaft, the exact same length, exact same swing weight, so everything is literally identical. Yeah, and you can just feel how that club, and I know this is artificial turf, so I get it, but you really can feel it, particularly as often as I've been hitting golf balls in here. You can feel how it goes through there just a little bit differently. It's wonderfully quick. It doesn't feel like the club gets stuck in the turf there. Great feeling. And right out of the center of the face, beautiful shot. Now, again, let's look at some of these numbers up here. So, Gibbsy, come on up here so that we can give everybody an idea of what's going on. Apex at 85 feet. I didn't quite swing at this one as hard as I would normally as I'm talking to you and sharing with you. But you could see the descent angle at about 43, maybe 40, just a shade over 43 degrees. Launch angle is really good, right around 19. These numbers are pretty good. And what I also then pay attention to is backspin, which I'll show you what a normal backspin for me will be. With this particular club, it's going to be right around 5,200 when I get after this one with a little bit of power. Again, the way that club goes through that turf, it was just fabulous. This one I pulled a little bit, but again, a little bit faster speed, so 82 miles an hour of club head speed on that one and about 116 ball speed. And that thing went in the air about 174, 175 yards, so very good. See if we can do that same thing and hit a little cut now. Cut that just a little bit fat, but again, what happened was the club went right through that turf beautifully. Loved that. And many times what's happening is when you're focusing on what you're doing with your clubs, not every shot's going to be perfect. What do you get when you don't get what you want? Well, that was a pretty good one. It wasn't a great shot, but it's a very, very solid miss. This will be my last one on this T100. See if we can get good numbers here. Yep, so that's a good swing. Beautiful, absolute apex, wonderful. Again, lands nice and soft. Love the way that one feels. So there's your T100. Again, a little bit of a different camber on the bottom of that sole, and also a slightly different finish that you're going to see across the board with all of these clubs. Now, let's go to the T150. So now, the T150. Again, same exact finish. The sole is beautiful, maybe a little bit bigger head overall. Let me show that to you so you can see that. It looks very, very similar to that T100. And that sole, if I tilt it towards you there, it's just a little bit bigger sole. You can see there's a slight camber in it, which is great. This also with that brushed chrome, that's that great look to it. It looks almost identical to the T100. Maybe the top line a little bit thicker, but that might just be, I better just check that and make sure. No, it's literally identical. Anyway, a couple of things with this one. First, it's got less loft. So while I told you that the T100s, they come in a little bit stronger this year at 45 on the pitching wedge instead of 46, this one comes in another degree stronger than that. So this is even stronger than that. And what ends up happening is this ball, as a result of that loft, is gonna flight out a little bit lower. Well, they've got a little muscle channel here that will shoot this ball up into the air. So I'm going to get a little bit of a higher launch, which is going to offset that lower launch, right? With the loft, I'm going to put some weighting in here, chuck it up into the air. So I'm going to get great ball speeds, faster ball speeds, but I'm also going to get the same window in that launch, right? Because I will have lost that before. It's a really, really unique idea. Great feeling club. Again, the same thing with that sole. That club will go right through there. And that one there, wonderful, wonderful feel to it. Again, so come on up here, and let's just take a little look at what we got here. So pretty good distance, really good distance, actually. Club head speed's at 82.5. The ball speed's at 16.5. That one carries a little bit longer than I would normally carry it. It still apexes right around that 90-foot thing. And you can see the descent angle is right around 43 degrees, 42.6, 43. It's the exact same. What will happen is, because of all the things that are going on, you're going to lose a little bit of backspin. So that descent angle becomes even more important when that backspin number comes down a little bit, and you're going to lose a little backspin because of that loft situation, and that's where that muscle channel really kind of helps out a lot. All right, let's jump to this 250 now. Okay, now the 250. This is probably the most intriguing of all of the new offerings in the T-Series line, the 250. It's got a little bit bigger sole. It's a little bit bigger head, a little bit bigger body. You can see it's a beautiful looking club. All the clubs look fantastic, but you can see how much thicker that sole is right there. Now, you start first with the loft. So the loft with the pitching wedge in the T100 is 45, with the T150 is 44, and now with the 250 it goes to 43. So that means we're going to get a little bit faster ball speed. And what happens when you start getting into clubs that have these sort of game improvement ball speed additives, you can sometimes get some hot spots. Well, they have launched this new thing called Max Impact Technology. And basically what that means is that you're going to get more consistent ball speeds off of the face in various positions on the face. So you get much more reliable, as we talked about the distance and the dispersion and the descent, much more consistent, reliable distance out of what might be a little bit of a mishit. It's a phenomenal golf club, and it feels great. And the thing that's cool about this is, and I'll talk to you about this later as well, you see sets of irons on the PGA Tour, which what I call mixed sets. You'll see maybe T100s going up to the 4-iron, and then you might get a 3-iron in this T250 or possibly the T350. This is where this really pays off, the beauty of this club. They all kind of look the same. There's obviously a bigger head here. There's a thicker top line here, but it looks very, very similar to that T100 and that T150. You just start getting a little bit more ball speed with this. Now, again, this loft on this is about the same loft as the loft that I have in my T100, but I get a lot faster ball speeds on this one. So come on up and just take a look at this ball speed here. Gibbsy, and what you can see is the club head speed there was 82. Remember, we had 80, 82 on the one that I just hit prior, but I got another mile an hour of ball speed. I got a little bit greater distance on this, and obviously it's going to roll out a little bit more. That one I hooked, so I didn't get the backspin, but the backspin will be in the 4,000s. It's just going to be a little bit less, probably like 42, 4,300, something along those lines. I'll hit another one here, and we'll see what we get. But what I can also tell you is that with your miss hits with this, you're going to be really pleasantly surprised, because you're going to get a very functional shot from a shot that you would think you wouldn't get much out of. The T250 really offers a great result for not a great contact. This one's a little bit more traditional to what I would typically get. Again, that ball got up into the air. The descent angle on that one, come on up quickly to the descent angle on this, and you can see that descent angle was at 43 degrees. Again, 4,400 in the backspin. That's the one that I'm trying to get. Now I'm going to give you a swing here that's got a little bit more club head speed to it, and see if we can't get this to kind of perform along the lines of my expectation. I would say that the T250 for me is probably 5 yards farther than what I would get out of my T100. Again, a little bit less spin on there. Oh, this one is much, much better. All right, so come on up here, because this is what, in effect, what I'm going to expect to get out of this. So I swung that at 83 miles an hour. A little bit faster, but look at the ball speed, jumps up to 120. My apex is still in the 90-foot range. My descent angle is still at like 43, but look at what happened with my distance. All of a sudden, that thing gets up to 185, rolls out to about 190. The backspin on that one, pretty good, 4640, 4650, so pretty good. The T250 is a phenomenal club, a great game improvement club, but it doesn't look like that. This 250 looks like a gamer, like a player's club. I mean, when you put that in your hands and you look at it, you're going to have tremendous confidence that you're going to gain just from looking at it. It's, again, a little bit of a bigger head, a little bit of a bigger sole on it, a little bit of a thicker top line, but it's perfectly dimensioned so that when you stand in there and you look at it, you feel a lot of confidence. Now, let's talk about, finally, the 350. Now, this is the biggest of the heads in the T-Series for this generation, and it's a bigger, zoom in there, you can see it's a bigger sole, it's a bigger head, it's still a beautiful looking golf club, and there's a little bit of offset in this, so I would say just, I don't even know, maybe a quarter of a shaft offset. It's a golf club that is built for speed. That's what this is all about, but it's also built for maximum forgiveness. So again, when you start getting into that and you start losing some lofts, you need some things that are going to help fire this up into the air and give us consistent ball speeds off of the entirety of the face. That's that max impact technology that we talked about in the T250, back again in the T350. And this is another one that you'll see players go to the T350. Like I have this mixed set where I have my T100s up to the 5-iron, and then I get a little bit of a bigger head, a little bit of a faster head in my 4-iron and my 3-iron. So same thing is going to be here. This one's going to give us a little bit faster speed. It's got a little bit less loft, so this thing needs some assist. Max impact technology is going to allow me to get consistent distance in the air off of what would be less than ball strikes. That was absolutely a beautiful strike. Now, I love this. So come on up here again so you get a look at this, because this is again really, really cool. Now, the one that we hit before was 83 and 120. So this is at like 82 and it's 118. So very similar, and I'll get to the max speed here in a little bit. But here's what's cool about this. 91 apex, 43 descent angle. That launched at 18. The spin rate's a little bit less, so that's a little bit down. But that ball carried out to 182 and rolls out to 188. Now, my 6-iron in my T100 is going about 175. This one here, when I hit this one with the 83, I'm going to get a faster ball speed. My prediction is faster ball speed, greater carry distance. I might be able to get this thing to 185, possibly even 190, which would be kind of cool. So when you start thinking about, these golf clubs, understand that you don't just have to order like pitching wedge through 4-iron you can mix this up a little bit, and you can start to look at gaps, start to see where you need some added ball speed, start to see where you need maybe a little bit higher trajectory on clubs that might not have the loft to get it up there. So here we go. This is that T350 again. So this is beautiful. Come on up here and check this out, because this was kind of exactly what I was trying to describe to you before. So talk about 83 miles an hour. This is at 82.5. So 83 on the 250, I got to 120. This one is 121.5. What does that mean? All of a sudden, I'm carrying that thing to 190, 191. So obviously a lot farther than I'm hitting my T100, even a little bit farther than I'm hitting the T350. And yet still, apex that thing at 96. The descent angle is at 43. The vertical launch on that is 18.2. So it's down because of the less loft, but the max impact technology helps chuck this thing up into the air, give me that fast ball speed. As I get faster ball speeds, my apex, the ball stays in the air. So the apex stays up there in that 90 range, which is what I'm looking for. And then you get to the backspin number, and I'm at about 4,200. So it's down a little bit again, even though the speed was up. The club head speed and the ball speed, very, very good. I still got great carry distance, even though I shouldn't even say carry distance. What I really got was great overall distance, and I lost a little bit of backspin on there. Okay? So this is your T-Series that Titleist has come out with. The T100, the T250, the T350, and obviously the T150, which is sort of that sister club to the T100. Beautiful golf clubs, beautiful, I would say, set and an opportunity for you to kind of mix and match how you want your set to perform. And what I would tell you is, first and foremost, you got to make sure that you go get fit for these clubs. You want to get somebody that knows exactly what's going on. You need to get onto a launch monitor or a simulator that's going to help you understand what these numbers are and how you mix and match all these, so that when you go through the completion of your set, you cover all the gaps that you're looking for in your distances. You're also very aware of the dispersion. You can see, like, when I'm hitting shots, I'm not hitting them off the planet. They're relatively kind of straight where I want them to go, and you get that consistent descent angle. For me, it's right around 43 degrees, and I promise you, when you get this thing to where it's, the ideal number would be 45, but if you can get to 43, that's great. If you get to 42, that's fine as well. You just don't want it to be like in the 30s. I'm trying to make sure that I keep my players out of the 30s and get into the 40s. That's going to minimize the amount that golf ball rolls out, and it's going to allow you to keep that ball as close to the spot where it lands on the green as you possibly can. So give these a look. You have a little bit of an understanding. Now you can go there and you can be the wise shopper and understand which makeup of clubs is going to be the best for you to shoot your lowest scores. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.